What up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Life After Lockup Season 3, Episode 58. So there is one more episode until the season finale. So the season finale is the week before Christmas. Alright, you guys. So this episode wasn't much, but we're going to give the review. We're going to do the review, and we're going to try to give it a little bit of zhuzh. Shout out to my friend Misha, Ms. Misha, IMO. We're going to try to get this episode a little bit of zhuzh. So, before we get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and are not yet subscribed to the channel, I'm going to need you guys to do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. Stop checking me out in this day. Hit that subscribe button. Turn your likes. Hit the likes. Turn your notifications on and share the video. And you guys, with that out the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and discuss Life After Lockup. Also, speaking of which, so Life After Lockup, oh, that's so nice. Life After Lockup will wrap up on December 17th, and then January 7th, we will get the series premiere of Love During Lockup. But like I said, let's get into this episode review, shall we? So we will start up with, let's just start up with Sean. Sean is the most insufferable human being that I saw on reality television, and there are a lot of them that are insufferable, but this one, he takes the cake, right? Sean is an idiot. Sean is a lot of different things, a lot of different words and the different adjectives, verbs, whatever you want to say. Like I can go through the dictionary and find some words that describe what Sean is, right? So we see Sean. So Sean wants to meet up with Sarah's mother, right? He wants to talk to Sarah's mother without Sarah around. And I was like, what do you want to talk to her mother about? Well, this fool decides he wants to talk to Sarah's mother because he wants to ask Sarah's mother for her hand in marriage. I was like, I know you lying. I know you lying. You got money to spend on a engagement ring, but you took your daughter to a thrift store to buy her some school clothes. I will never get over that, and I will never forget that. So Sarah's mom is very apprehensive about this. She's like, first of all, you got 6 kids. What about your kid's mother? She got up. She eventually, just because she was looking at the rings with him, but she eventually said, forget it. I ain't playing this game. Because at first she said, it's just too soon. You guys just moved in. Ma'am, if you ain't never saw Sean on this show before, Sean doesn't know what the word fast means. He doesn't know that word. All he knows is his pace. He doesn't know slow down, you're going too fast. He just knows Sean's pace. And it's quite irritating, to be quite honest with you. I'm gonna need you guys to get, I can't stand looking at Sean's face. Like that's what he gives, right? So then let's move over to Brittany and Marcelino. Brittany and Marcelino, right? I just wonder how, we've gone from different stories. So this season, Brittany and Marcelino has had 2 stories this season. The first story was the whole Kanan situation, the whole Kanan and Robert situation of him stealing the money. We ain't talked about that since. After they went to the house, we ain't said shit else about Robert stealing the money from them, right? We moved over to this new storyline of Brittany's biological father reaching out to her and wanting to have a relationship with her, right? So you guys remember that Marcelino told Brittany that he invited her dad down, right? So her dad has come down, and Brittany lets us know that, she hasn't saw her dad since the last time they went up to, was it Alaska? Wherever they went to, right? You guys remember they went up there to try to get help for the mother, right? But we know that her mother didn't go to rehab, but her mother is doing better, so Brittany says, right? So they're having a barbecue, so her dad is there, her sisters will be coming over as well as her mother. So then, we see Brittany, and she goes and has a conversation with her dad, and she's just letting him know, like, hey, my biological father, he reached out to me, and he's telling me that he wants to have a relationship with me and with my kids. So she asked him, what does he feel? And he told her And I can actually, you know, understand this storyline. I really get, right, because I've been in a similar situation. Excuse me, I didn't mean to burp me out face. But my biological mother, right? I've been in a similar situation. When I found out about my biological mother, I actually had a conversation with my mom, and I was like, "How do you feel about me, forging a relationship with or having a bond with her?" And my mom was like, "If that's what you want to do, then you do it, right?" And I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but we've tried multiple times, and suffice it to say, it's not, well, there is no relationship currently, but my mom always told me if I wanted to have a relationship with my biological mother, that she was very supportive of it. And, she knew that, I wasn't trying to replace her or anything, just I wasn't doing, and I told her, I'm like, I don't want you to feel that it's disrespectful to you, or I don't want you to feel that I'm trying to replace you because you're irreplaceable, right? But he told her to reach out. So then we see Brittany and Marcelino as they go horseback riding, right? After they finished the horseback riding, they sat by a campfire, and she was talking about how peaceful that was, and then they went back to the teepee, and that was it. I like Brittany and Marcelino as time goes on, but the storylines are just kind of drawn out. But okay, let's move on to Brittany and Ray. Really, it was Ray and his grandmother, right? So we see Ray and his grandmother, they're unpacking groceries, they're cooking. It was funny when they were talking about, back in the, he was talking about when I guess he was a kid, right? Or younger, when they used to make so if you're not from the South, because I don't know if people do this up north or in the Midwest or wherever, right? Or the East Coast or the West Coast. I don't know what y'all do, but I know here in the South, we do this thing here where we take the bread, we take a loaf of bread, right? You put the butter on the bread, you get some cinnamon, you get some sugar, you mix the cinnamon in with the sugar, you toss it around, you spread that on the toast, on the bread, and you toast with your butter, you put that in the oven, and you got some bread with butter, cinnamon, and sugar, and that is heaven. And then eat it with some syrup. Eat it while it's hot with some syrup. Oh, that is so good. Now, yes, I'm country, but I'm from Texas, so I don't know what you guys expect. But yeah, when he said that, I was like, man, if that ain't a country thing for sure. But I don't know if other people. I'm pretty sure other people probably do it, but I know it's very. I mean, in the South, we definitely do a lot of. But we do a lot of weird things down here, right? So he's talking to his grandmother, right? He's telling his grandmother that Brittany wants to go to Miami. So his grandmother's like, "Is that okay for you to go to Miami?" And he's like, I talked to them, and as long as he pays his restitution and I guess lets them know what he's doing, he's fine, right? And she says, "Well, you're not gonna try to get caught up, are you?" He says, "Nah." So I guess when Ray was young, Ray was in his prime doing his thing. Ray was, getting himself in a whole lot of trouble. So that's what she's asking him, right? So then, he tells her about him and Brittany, how Brittany has been discussing kids and discussing marriage, right? So she asks him, does he have a ring? He says no, because his bank account ain't set up for that right about now, right? So then, he says he wants to get her a promise ring. I was like, now, Ray, Brittany. Brittany ain't going for no damn promise ring. I can tell you that right now. But then the grandmother did have a question, like, if you give her this rings with it being the promise of an engagement soon to come, do you think that would lessen the blow? Let me answer that question for you, Miss Ma'am. It won't. Not that bougie ass Brittany. It ain't gonna lessen the blow, because she's still gonna want her engagement ring, which, like I just said a few minutes ago, he said he's paying his restitution, so you know how much that man's restitution is. So I don't know where Brittany think he's gonna get a ring from, unless she's gonna get one of them rings out the little candy machine that's 25 cents and put it on her finger, or you're gonna go to Walmart. I don't know where you're getting the ring from, sis. But okay, let's move on, you guys, to Puppy and Amber. So we see Puppy, she's meeting with Amber and her mother. They're going wedding dress shopping, right? So this is the aftermath of that janky ass proposal that Then I mean, that, so I forgot who it was that left a comment in the comment section on the last video, thinking I was gonna be shady. I couldn't really be. So here's the thing: I really couldn't be shady about that proposal. Yes, that proposal was janky and fucked up. Now, me personally, if I'm sitting somewhere and you hit me with a text message talking about will you marry me, I'm gonna tell you no, because I'm like, that you didn't put any kind of preparation into that, any kind of thought, right? But for him and Puppy, it worked for them, but for, I know for a normal person that shit wouldn't work, because it is kind of lackluster. It's like, really, is this? So when you tell your kids how you got engaged, oh, I was sitting on the couch and your dad proposed to me via text message. Text message? No, you put a little bit of thought into it. So yeah, I couldn't go too deep on it, because you guys know how I feel. I love me. You guys know I like Puppy. I like Puppy, and I want Puppy to be happy. So that's why I really couldn't go too deep into it. But yes, the proposal was janky. The proposal was whack. The proposal was tired. He could have done a lot better than what he did. And then the fact that he had the ring on his finger, you could have done a little bit different than what you did. But sometimes it's just the thought that counts. I don't know. That's just what I think. So Amber asked Puppy how did she get engaged. She's like, that. Let's not even talk about that. So then they go look at the dress, and the saleswoman, she asked how did she get engaged, and Puppy told her by text message. And they were like, by text message? Yes, ma'am. Via text message, right? So then, Puppy tries on her dresses. And she only tried on one dress that we saw in this episode. But that one dress that she tried on, that dress was beautiful. I was like, oh, Puppy looks so cute. And Amber and her mother are having a conversation, right? They're wondering if Puppy is, doing all of this, if she is planning to run, or, if she's rushing into this, right? And Puppy overheard them. So then she comes out, right? So Amber's telling Puppy that she had talked to her PO, right? And that her PO said, what you need to do is you need to reach out to the chief or whoever, right? And tell them, hey, the woman that was at my house, my mother was in the hospital. That woman doesn't live there, so she don't know if I live there or not. Which I was thinking the same thing too. I was thinking that too, like, couldn't Puppy use that defense that whoever that woman was that was at the house, she don't know anything about me and my mother. She doesn't know if I live there or not. And what Puppy could say is, I was, I lived there, but I thought I was free to, go and, visit people, visit people, right? So I was visiting my boyfriend, and I don't know why she would think I don't live there, because my clothes are still there. Like, everything I have is still in the house. Like, I don't know why. And Puppy might want to do that. Like, girl, if you have some stuff at Eric's, kind of trickle and put some of your stuff back at your mama's crib, so that way if they do a check, they'll be like, oh, okay, so you do have stuff here. Yes, shit that I don't wear, but I have shit here, right? So then we see Puppy, and she's telling Eric about what her mom and what she feels her mom and Amber want for her to turn herself in. He says, well, see, and in this scene, this is where Eric tripped me up, like, because it was all about him. Because he's telling her not to turn herself in because of him, like, because he probably won't be there. I'm like, really? You just asked her to marry you, but now you're sitting here telling her if she goes back to prison, you don't necessarily know if you're going to be able to hold it down for her, right? You know what I would tell Eric? Deuces. Real talk. I would have to tell him deuces. All right, you guys, so let's move on to Christiana and Native American Joe Dirt John. Wasn't really much with them in this episode either. This is not going to be a long episode the more I look at it, right? But Native American Joe Dirt and Christiana. So Native American Joe Dirt is dropping Christiana off at work. So Christiana is now working at a diner, and we see her, she goes to work and she's talking to her coworker, right? So her coworker, now I don't know if this woman has been to prison, but I do know that this woman has a past with, dealing with drugs, right? And it was a deep conversation, right? Because, you know, she was asking Christiana how's married life, and Christiana told her, then she says, how's your mother? And so Christiana was telling her, you know, her mother's doing her chemo, doing this and that, right? And I can get it. Christiana is terrified about, you know, what will happen with her mother. And I definitely understand that. And then she talks about Tara. You know, she feels that Tara is back on drugs and whatnot. And then the woman, you know, she was talking about her mother had, you know, cancer as well. And, you know, she was talking about how, you know, it just felt like she didn't have people in her corner with her, talking about her family. So instead of her, so, you know, she didn't really reach out for help to outside people outside of her family. So what she did was she would do the drugs to numb the pain. I was like, wow. And she said she's about, what, 4.5 years sober? Ugh. Drugs. Kids, say no to them. Say no. So then lastly, we're going to end the episode talking about Nicole, Deontay, and the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres, right? So today is the big day. Today is the wedding day of Nicole and the broke down Ellen DeGeneres, right? So you guys remember in the last episode, which I was actually kind of surprised that they didn't pick up where we left off. Because you guys remember 2 weeks ago when we last got our episode, you guys remember Nicole went wedding dress shopping with her mother, right? And you guys remember Nicole was in that dressing room or wherever and she was hyperventilating. So we didn't pick up with that. We just pick up with it's the day of the wedding. And we see Nicole, she's in her room. She was still in her feelings. And the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres goes and checks her and she says, are you okay? She's like, yeah. She's like, I'm just seeing stars. I'm like, why are you seeing stars again? Like, have you been doing some drugs? No shade, no tea. Have you been doing some drugs? Because I just don't think you should be seeing stars like that. Because I do have occasions where I see stars, and that's when I have a bad headache, right? Like if I have a bad headache, that's the only time I see stars. But other than that, when I'm having a panic attack or anything or any of that stuff, I don't see stars. So I don't know what's going on with Nicole, but I'm not going to speculate, right? But she says she wants to get married and that she's not getting cold feet. I'm like, okay, if you say so, Nicole, right? So on the flip side, we see as this dunce, Deontay, he got out the shower. He is getting ready for the wedding. I'm like, dude, mind you, he doesn't know where it is. He just knows that it's at a park. So I guess you're just going to ride around and go to every park that you can find and hope that you find Nicole and the broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres. I'm pretty sure the production knows where this wedding is, but whatever, right? So then we see this fool, Deontay. He puts on his suit. This fool looked like a velvet devil. That's what he looked like, the velvet devil. So, you know, we have this scene where he's talking about, I'm just still like, dude, Nicole has been playing you from the jump. Like, you don't see it, but you think that by going to this wedding that you can break it up. You think that, like you talking about, you know, I always imagined that seeing Nicole walking down the aisle, walking to me, like all this I got her, is for her. Okay, Deontay. Bruh, you ain't even flicked the vagina. You didn't flick it, you didn't lick it, you didn't tap it, you didn't do nothing to it. Why are you so pussy whipped? I'm trying to figure that out. Why are you so pussy whipped and you ain't even got a sniff of it? You ain't got a sniff, a whiff, a lick, a flick, a kick, a finger, a nothing. Nothing with the vagina. Well, not Nicole's vagina, that is. But okay, right? Then we see Tia. So Tia is telling us about a fiance that she had before Nicole, that when she went to prison, the girl left her. Now I'm like, Nicole. Not Nicole. The broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres. The broke down version of Ellen DeGeneres was telling us about her fiance that she had when she went to prison, but that fiance left her. Ma'am, sir, Ma'am, 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 what did you expect? You think somebody gonna wait for you to get out of prison, and you're a lesbian, so you going to prison. You expect me to believe that you not finna try to kitty click with some girl in prison? Okay, go on with it. Go on with it. So, we see this fool Deontay as he is heading to the park. Somehow this fool's car got stuck in the ditch, and when I saw his car stuck in that ditch, I cracked up laughing. I was done when that fool's car got stuck in that ditch. Then we move over and we see Nicole. Nicole is with her mother and her stepmother, right? Nicole is getting ready in a public bathroom. I was like, ugh, that is nasty. There are a lot of things that I will do, but that is one thing I won't do, is put my feet on the bathroom. I won't put my feet, my butt cheeks, nothing. I don't want to touch a public restroom. Ew. I don't like public restrooms. Ew. And especially at a park. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell it's gonna happen for me. But that's the episode, you guys. Please let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your comments in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else. Share the video, and until the next one, you guys stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.